Help! Help!
Hello, everyone. According to the latest information, Gene Hackman, one of Hollywood's greatest legends, mysteriously passed away with his wife and pet dog at his home in Santa Fe, New Mexico, at the age of 62. This mysterious death has caused many fans and the media to be in a stir, as no one knows the exact cause and time.
No, dude, they're not moving. Just send somebody out here really quick.
Okay, my units are on their way, okay?
Stay tuned as we uncover more about one of Hollywood's greatest stars and the untold secrets of his life and career. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments and make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss the exciting videos to come. On February 26, 2025, a tragic discovery was made at the home of Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The couple, along with one of their 3 pet dogs, was found dead at their residence. Gene Hackman, an Oscar-winning actor and one of Hollywood's great stars, passed away at the age of 95. His and his wife's deaths have sparked a wave of grief and speculation within the family, raising many questions about the cause and timing of their passing. The discovery was made by a maintenance worker who arrived at the house to carry out routine maintenance. He was shocked to find the bodies and immediately called emergency services. When deputies from the Santa Fe Sheriff's Office arrived at the scene, they found Gene Hackman's body in an advanced state of decomposition, lying in the mudroom of the house. His wife, Betsy Arakawa, was also found in a similar condition in a nearby bathroom. Tragically, one of their 3 dogs had also passed away, found in a closet near Betsy. Officials found prescription medications scattered around, including those for Betsy's high blood pressure and thyroid condition, raising concerns about their health prior to their deaths. While there were no clear signs of foul play, investigators have yet to determine the exact cause and time of death.
1 bottle of over-the-counter Tylenol. My request, medical...
The latest information from the police suggests that both Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa may have died approximately 2 weeks before their bodies were discovered. This raises significant questions about the timing and circumstances of their deaths. One of the theories being considered is carbon monoxide poisoning, prompting the police to request welfare checks on the couple's neighbors. The results indicated that the couple had passed away at least a day before the maintenance worker found the bodies.
An initial interrogation was conducted of Mr. Hackman's pacemaker.
Gene Hackman's daughter, Elizabeth Gene Hackman, has broken her silence regarding the tragic death of her father and stepmother. She shared that the family suspects carbon monoxide poisoning may have been the cause of her father and Betsy Arakawa's deaths. However, the investigation is ongoing, and the police have not ruled out any possibilities. In an exclusive interview with TMZ, Elizabeth revealed that her family is in the process of grieving and seeking the truth about the death of their loved ones. She also emphasized that despite Gene Hackman's fame, he was always a loving father to her and the family. Elizabeth Gene Hackman, born in 1962, is the daughter of Gene Hackman and his first wife, Faye Maltz. Despite having a famous father, Elizabeth chose to live a private life away from the spotlight. She is the middle child in the Hackman family, with an older brother, Christopher, and a younger sister, Leslie. Despite being the daughter of a major star, Elizabeth opted for a humble life and rarely appeared in public. She and her family have always kept their personal lives away from the scrutiny of the media. Elizabeth has made a few public appearances with her father, such as at the 1978 premiere of Superman, where Gene Hackman played Lex Luthor. Another occasion was when she attended the 1996 premiere of The Chamber, a project Gene Hackman was involved in. However, her public appearances have been rare, and since then, Elizabeth has completely stayed out of the media spotlight. Gene Hackman was one of Hollywood's big names, with iconic roles in The French Connection, Unforgiven, and many other films. After ending his marriage to Faye Maltz, he married Betsy Arakawa in 1991, and the two led a peaceful life away from the Hollywood spotlight. The couple spent over 30 happy years together, living in a quiet home in Santa Fe. Gene Hackman, who retired long before his death, always sought a private life with his wife and family. Not only was he a film legend, but also a loving father who respected his family's privacy. After his illustrious career, Gene Hackman gave up acting to spend more time with his family and live a peaceful life, free from the interruptions of fame. Gene Hackman left a remarkable legacy in Hollywood film history. His children, though bearing a famous name, chose a private life, staying away from public attention. They lead humble lives, ensuring the media doesn't invade their privacy. Gene Hackman's legacy lives on not only in the hearts of his fans, but also in the respect and tranquility with which his family preserves it. Although Gene Hackman's illustrious career earned him a place in Hollywood history, his children, including Elizabeth, chose a different path. They live quiet lives, avoiding the spotlight, much like their father did. This loss is a pain not only for the Hackman family, but also for countless fans around the world. Gene Hackman's passing is not just the loss of a legend, but also a profound sorrow for his family, who have lived their lives privately, away from public intrusion. Gene Hackman went through a challenging journey to become a Hollywood star. In 1956, he began pursuing acting at the Pasadena Playhouse, where he met Dustin Hoffman, an equally ambitious colleague. Both were considered outsiders and even voted the least likely to succeed. Hackman, with the lowest grades in his class, faced shame and doubt from those around him. However, instead of giving up, he used these criticisms as motivation to prove everyone wrong. Hackman decided to move to New York, where he struggled with a tough life while continuing to chase his acting dreams. He formed close bonds with colleagues like Dustin Hoffman and Robert Duvall. They lived together in small apartments, sharing hardships and dreams. Hackman's big breakthrough came in 1970 with his role in I Never Sang for My Father, earning him an Oscar nomination. However, it was his portrayal of New York detective Jimmy Papy Doyle in The French Connection in 1971 that changed his life forever. This role not only won Hackman an Oscar, but also solidified his place in the film industry. Gene Hackman continued to grow his career throughout the 70s and 80s, starring in several hit films and earning numerous prestigious awards. Movies like Bison Adventure, Scarecrow, and The Conversation helped him establish a solid reputation. Hackman even showcased his comedic talent in Young Frankenstein, 1974, proving he wasn't just a strong dramatic actor, but also had a great sense of humor. In the 80s, Hackman became one of the busiest actors in Hollywood, starring in iconic films like Hoosiers, 1986, one of the greatest sports films of all time. Hackman's career continued to thrive as he entered the 21st century. He worked alongside major stars like Morgan Freeman in Under Suspicion and Keanu Reeves in The Replacements. However, one of his most memorable roles was in The Royal Tenenbaums, 2001, where he played the eccentric father of a dysfunctional family, earning him a Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. In 2004, Hackman decided to retire from acting. His final film, Welcome to Mooseport, was a light comedy, a stark contrast to the intense dramas he had been known for. Although fans hoped he would return to the screen, Hackman confirmed in a 2008 interview that he had officially retired, partly due to concerns about his health. Doctors had warned him about the strain acting could put on his heart. After leaving Hollywood, Hackman turned to writing and publishing novels. He also returned briefly to narrate 2 documentaries about the Marine Corps in 2016 and 2017. Gene Hackman built his career on resilience, raw talent, and unwavering determination, transforming from a struggling actor to one of Hollywood's most respected artists. Gene Hackman, born Eugene Allen Hackman on January 30, 1930, in San Bernardino, California, had a challenging childhood. His family frequently moved, eventually settling in Annville, Illinois. Despite the unstable family environment and his parents' divorce when he was just 13, Hackman nurtured a dream of becoming an actor. At 16, he left home to join the U.S. Marine Corps, where he served for 4 years, stationed in China, Hawaii, and Japan. After being discharged in 1951, Hackman moved to New York and took on various odd jobs to make ends meet. However, his life changed dramatically in 1962 when his mother died in a fire. Despite facing numerous setbacks and difficulties, Hackman remained determined to pursue his acting dreams. Eventually, he returned to California and began making his way into Hollywood. Gene Hackman experienced 2 significant marriages in his life. His first marriage to Faye Maltz lasted nearly 30 years, and they had 3 children, Christopher, Elizabeth, and Leslie. Despite Hackman's busy career often keeping him away from home, he made an effort to maintain a strong bond with his children. After divorcing Faye in 1986, Hackman married Betsy Arakawa in 1991. The couple lived in a beautiful home in Santa Fe, New Mexico, with expansive views of the mountains. Their life in Santa Fe was marked by a deep respect for local art and culture. Hackman continued to engage in artistic activities, expressing his passion for the arts and finding peace in his life. Gene Hackman was not just a Hollywood star, but also a symbol of perseverance, talent, and the ability to overcome adversity. His life and career are a testament to pursuing dreams and never giving up, no matter the challenges. Hackman's legacy lives on in the hearts of his fans and in the films he left behind. In a shocking turn of events, the FBI uncovered a hidden secret beneath the luxurious mansion of film legend Gene Hackman. What was initially thought to be a routine investigation suddenly took a terrifying turn when agents discovered a mysterious tunnel beneath the estate. But what they found inside left them pale with shock. Secrets, strange objects, and cryptic clues raised more questions than answers. What really lies beneath Hackman's mansion? Join us as we dive into this chilling case and the shocking discoveries that could change everything. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more updates on this case. At 11 a.m., the world was shaken by the latest developments in the mysterious death of legendary actor Gene Hackman. According to the latest news from ABC News, authorities have obtained a search warrant for his $4 million mansion in New Mexico. However, what they discovered inside has taken the case in a more chilling and unpredictable direction than ever before. When FBI agents entered Gene Hackman's luxurious mansion, they quickly realized something was amiss. The vague traces within the house seemed to be more than just signs of an accident or a natural death, but the real shock came when they discovered a secret passage hidden deep beneath the estate. A tunnel that wasn't in the house's blueprints, leading down to a dark, mysterious space. If you find this story fascinating and want to explore more unsolved mysteries, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you won't miss any updates on this case. Share the video with your friends and family to discuss the chilling discoveries beneath Gene Hackman's mansion. If you have any theories about the hidden secrets behind this case, leave your thoughts in the comments below. We will continue to follow and provide the latest developments, helping you uncover the truth behind this story. As the agents descended the old staircase, the beam of their flashlights swept across the cold stone walls, revealing a sight that left everyone stunned. No one could have imagined that beneath the lavish mansion of a Hollywood legend, there was a storage room filled with mysterious items, seemingly forgotten for many years. Old wooden crates, covered in dust, were stacked on top of each other, creating a haunting space like something out of a horror movie. Some crates had rotted over time, while others remained intact as if never opened for decades. When an agent opened the lid of one crate, what they discovered left the entire room in absolute silence. Inside were old, yellowed photographs depicting mysterious people, unfamiliar faces seemingly from a different era. Some of the photos showed secret meetings, strange locations, and individuals whose identities remained unknown. Accompanying the photos were old files bound with leather straps, the papers darkened with age and filled with hastily scribbled notes, seemingly documenting events no one could have imagined. In another crate, the agents discovered a series of personal items, including a vintage pocket watch, some jewelry, and a small notebook with handwritten notes. The contents of the notebook appeared to be confessions or memories of something important. But that wasn't all. As the light passed through a dark corner of the tunnel, an old iron door appeared. There was no handle, only a heavy, rusted lock, worn by time. Was someone or something hidden behind this door? Could it be related to the mysterious deaths of Gene Hackman and his wife? Or is there an even darker secret that authorities don't want to reveal? The FBI agents have remained silent about what they truly found, but rumors are spreading. Some believe the tunnel may lead to an undiscovered underground network, while others suspect it could contain evidence of a conspiracy hidden for decades. Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain. This case is just beginning. In an old wooden crate, the agents discovered a strange set of tools. Some of the items appeared to belong to a skilled craftsman, while others resembled devices used for mysterious experiments. Skeptical glances were exchanged. What really happened in this hidden space? As they continued to dig deeper, they uncovered strange markings carved into the walls and mysterious symbols spread across the floor. This scene raised a series of questions. Are these just remnants of Hackman's past? Or do they hint at something darker and more dangerous? Each item they found fueled wilder theories about the secrets Hackman might have been hiding. The answer could lie within the tunnel itself. a mysterious passageway that might hold the key to a secret everyone is eager to uncover. As investigators carefully piece together scattered clues, the public eagerly awaits every new development, hoping to uncover the truth that still lurks in the shadows. Gene Hackman's estate has long been famous not only for its multi-million-dollar value, but also for its mysterious atmosphere. Located in a secluded area, surrounded by towering walls and a massive gate, the mansion stands like an impenetrable fortress where wealth and secrets intertwine. Every detail in the estate, from the meticulously manicured gardens to the luxurious rooms, adds to its impressive aura. However, behind its grand exterior lies a shocking discovery, a secret tunnel beneath the ground. This hidden passage has sparked countless speculations. Could it have been an escape route during a crisis, or was it built to conceal highly classified documents and valuable items? The tunnel not only raises questions about the mansion itself, but also about Hackman's mysterious life. What is even more troubling is the meticulous attention to detail in the design and security of the estate, as if there was a deliberate effort to conceal certain aspects of his life. With each new clue, the mansion becomes a labyrinth of secrets, sparking public curiosity and keeping people guessing. The case became even more shocking when the FBI uncovered the tunnel during their investigation into Hackman's suspicious death. How could such a secret passage exist for so many years without anyone knowing about it? Initial reports suggest that the tunnel may have been built many years ago, possibly for a specific purpose. Some speculate that it could have been a secret passage to help Hackman protect his privacy, while bolder theories suggest it leads to a hidden underground safe room. Others even believe the tunnel might connect to neighboring houses, opening up the possibility of an undiscovered secret network. As investigators continued to dig deeper, they began encountering a series of strange clues: old documents, unidentified devices, and notably, mysterious symbols etched into the walls. One agent described them as belonging to an unsolved code system. This raised unsettling questions. Was Hackman hiding evidence of an undisclosed project, or was he simply obsessed with the idea of having a hidden refuge underground? Investigators are also reviewing property records to determine whether local contractors or previous owners were aware of the tunnel's existence. Some nearby residents recall strange stories about workers mysteriously disappearing after working at the mansion. Others believe it could simply be an old escape route, part of a safety design from earlier times. As public attention grows towards the tunnel, rumors spread at lightning speed. Some believe it's where Hackman hid a secret treasure, while others suspect underground dealings may have taken place. But is this tunnel simply a relic of the past? Or could it be the key to a larger mystery? This discovery has sparked an unprecedented scale of investigation. The discovery of the tunnel beneath Gene Hackman's mansion has been shocking, especially when combined with the strange circumstances surrounding the deaths of the actor and his wife, Betsy. As investigators continue to delve deeper into the case, many are starting to wonder if the tunnel holds clues about what really happened in their final days. The mysterious death of Hackman and the strange signs surrounding it make the existence of the tunnel even more suspicious. Some speculate that it might have been used as a secret escape route, allowing someone to leave or sneak into the mansion unnoticed. But the bigger question is, who would need such an escape route, and why? As agents continue to examine the strange items found in the tunnel, they are trying to trace any clues related to Hackman and Betsy's deaths. The old documents, photographs, and bizarre objects could hold the key to revealing a hidden life that Hackman never shared with the public. The symbols etched into the walls only add to the mystery, hinting at a deeper story, possibly involving secret dealings or relationships that were never made public. Neighbors and old friends of Hackman began to share their memories, each revealing new details. Some recalled strange conversations Hackman had, hinting at troubles he had never addressed, while others remembered mysterious guests coming and going at night, leaving them wondering what was being hidden behind the mansion's solid walls. As the investigation continues, the connection between the tunnel and the suspicious deaths of Hackman and his wife remains an unanswered question. Every new clue could either bring the truth closer or deepen the mystery further. The increasing silence from the authorities has only fueled public suspicion. The secret tunnels, strange markings, and baffling artifacts discovered beneath Gene Hackman's mansion should have led to convincing answers, but officials remain mysteriously tight-lipped. Every statement from the authorities is brief and vague, like missing pieces in an incomplete puzzle. The FBI has searched every corner of the underground tunnel system, and the items found beneath the mansion seem to tell an untold story. Yet as the public waits for an explanation, all they receive is an enduring silence. Key questions still hang in the air. What was the tunnel built for? Who entered and exited it? What secrets are being hidden beneath the ground? In a shocking twist, the FBI discovered a secret tunnel beneath Gene Hackman's mansion, and what they found inside left them speechless in amazement. Agents uncovered old, dusty cell phones with cracked screens, filled with unread messages, fragments that could reveal secret conversations, hidden transactions, or unsent warnings. A crumpled calendar filled with chaotic notes and important dates appeared to be a timeline of an untold story. Additionally, agents found strange encounters with unknown names, locations that didn't exist on any map, and mysterious vials, evidence that raised suspicions about a secret treatment, an experimental drug, or even a dark conspiracy. Some vials were still sealed, while others had been used, but no one knew what they were related to or who had used them. Each item seemed to be a piece of a larger puzzle, a story someone had tried to keep hidden. Every small clue could open the door to the truth, and each new discovery is bringing them closer to unraveling the mystery within Hackman's mansion. Everyone is holding their breath, unsure whether a horrifying secret will be revealed, or if these are just fragmented pieces of a story that will never be solved. As the investigation continues, every new clue only deepens the mysterious veil surrounding Gene Hackman and his mansion. Strange discoveries in the basement, mysterious items, and unexplained signs have left both the public and investigators bewildered. What secrets are being hidden behind those walls? Unanswered questions continue to haunt, and this story is just beginning. Stay tuned for the latest updates, as the truth behind this case could completely change the way we view Gene Hackman and his past. Thank you for following along, and don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments. The FBI made a jaw-dropping discovery beneath the lavish $4 million estate of Hollywood icon Gene Hackman, a concealed tunnel leading to a web of eerie secrets. Hidden away for decades, the underground passage held old photographs, cryptic notes, and mysterious vials of medicine, some sealed, others used. Investigators found dust-covered phones with unread messages, a crumpled planner filled with coded entries, and classified records hinting at secret meetings. As forensic experts analyze the findings, speculation runs wild. Was Hackman entangled in a hidden conspiracy, Or does this buried mystery point to something far more sinister? See you in the next one. In a stunning twist, the FBI unearthed a hidden passage beneath Gene Hackman's lavish $4 million estate, revealing a trove of eerie secrets. Inside the concealed tunnel, investigators discovered aged photographs, cryptic notes, and mysterious vials, some sealed, others partially used. Dust-covered phones with unread messages and a planner filled with coded entries hinted at long-buried secrets. As forensic experts analyze the findings, speculation runs rampant. Was Hackman entangled in a covert operation, or does this discovery point to something far more sinister? See you in the next one. But what they uncovered inside left them frozen in disbelief. Unusual artifacts, coded messages, and unsettling relics only deepened the mystery. Each clue led to more questions, shrouding the truth in even greater secrecy. What hidden past lurks beneath Hackman's mansion? Stay with us as we unravel this eerie mystery and uncover the shocking truths that could rewrite history. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update on this gripping case. At 11:00 a.m., shocking new developments emerged in the mysterious death of legendary actor Gene Hackman. ABC News reports that authorities secured a search warrant for his $4 million New Mexico estate. However, what they uncovered inside has sent the case spiraling into a darker and more unsettling mystery than anyone could have anticipated. When FBI agents stepped into Gene Hackman's lavish mansion, an eerie sense of unease filled the air. Subtle yet chilling signs suggested that this was no ordinary accident or natural death. But the true bombshell dropped when they uncovered a hidden passage beneath the estate, an unmarked tunnel absent from the official blueprints, leading into a shadowy, enigmatic chamber. If this story captivates you and you love diving into unsolved mysteries, be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss an update on this case. Share this video with friends and family to unravel the chilling secrets beneath Gene Hackman's mansion together. Have a theory about what's really going on? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll keep digging and bringing you the latest developments as the truth unfolds. As the agents carefully made their way down the worn staircase, their flashlights flickered across the damp stone walls, unveiling a scene that sent shivers down their spines. Hidden beneath the grand estate of a Hollywood legend lay a secret storage room, untouched for decades. Dust-covered wooden crates stood in eerie silence, some decayed and crumbling, while others remained sealed as if guarding long-buried secrets. The air was thick with mystery, the space resembling a forgotten vault of hidden truths waiting to be uncovered. As an agent pried open the lid of one crate, the room fell into an eerie silence. Inside, a collection of aged, yellowed photographs revealed shadowy figures, faces from an unknown past, their expressions frozen in time. Some images captured clandestine meetings, obscure locations, and individuals whose identities remained a mystery. Alongside them, a set of worn, leather-bound files contained brittle pages covered in frantic, hastily scrawled notes, documenting events so startling that no one could have foreseen their existence. In another crate, agents uncovered a collection of personal artifacts: a vintage pocket watch, delicate jewelry, and a small, time-worn notebook filled with handwritten entries. The notes appeared to be intimate confessions or recollections of something deeply significant. But the most unsettling discovery was yet to come. As the flashlight beam swept across the tunnel's depths, an old iron door emerged from the shadows. Rusted with age and sealed with a heavy, corroded lock, it had no visible handle, only silence pressing against its surface. What lay beyond it? Could it hold the key to Gene Hackman and his wife's mysterious deaths, or was it guarding something even more sinister? The FBI remains tight-lipped about their findings, fueling wild speculation. Some whisper that the tunnel connects to a hidden underground network, while others believe it conceals evidence of a long-buried conspiracy. One thing is certain: this mystery is far from over. Inside an aged wooden crate, agents unearthed an unsettling assortment of tools. Some appeared to belong to a master craftsman, while others looked like instruments designed for unknown, perhaps even sinister experiments. A sense of unease filled the air as they exchanged wary glances. What had truly taken place in this concealed chamber? As they pressed on, their flashlights revealed cryptic carvings etched into the walls and strange symbols scattered across the floor. Were these merely forgotten relics from Hackman's past? Or did they point to something far more ominous lurking beneath the surface? Every discovery deepened the mystery, sparking wild speculation about the secrets Gene Hackman may have taken to his grave. The truth could be buried within the tunnel itself, a passage that might hold the final piece of a puzzle no one expected. As investigators work to connect the scattered clues, the world watches with anticipation, waiting for the revelation that could finally bring the darkness into the light. Gene Hackman's estate has long captivated attention, not just for its multi-million-dollar value, but for the aura of secrecy that surrounds it. Nestled in a remote location, guarded by towering walls and an imposing gate, the mansion exudes an air of exclusivity, where luxury and mystery intertwine. Every detail, from its pristine gardens to its opulent interiors, speaks of grandeur. Yet, beneath its polished surface lies a chilling secret, a hidden tunnel buried deep underground. This discovery has ignited endless speculation. Was it a concealed escape route, a vault for classified information, or something far more sinister? The discovery of the tunnel doesn't just cast doubt on the mansion. It deepens the mystery surrounding Hackman's life. What's even more unsettling is the estate's precise design and heightened security, almost as if it was built to hide something significant. Each new clue transforms the property into a maze of unanswered questions, fueling public intrigue. But the real shock came when the FBI stumbled upon the tunnel while investigating Hackman's suspicious death. How had such a hidden passage remained undiscovered for so many years? And more importantly, what was its true purpose? Early reports indicate that the tunnel may have been constructed decades ago, possibly serving a purpose far more deliberate than mere privacy. Some speculate it was designed as a hidden retreat for Hackman, shielding him from the outside world. Others suggest it could lead to a concealed underground chamber, perhaps storing something of great value. A more startling theory proposes that the passage extends beyond the estate, potentially linking to other properties, raising questions about a secret network that has remained undiscovered until now. As investigators delved further, they uncovered a string of puzzling artifacts, aged documents, unidentified gadgets, and most intriguingly, cryptic symbols carved into the walls. One agent speculated that these markings could be part of an unknown code system, adding another layer of mystery to the case. This discovery led to unsettling questions. Was Hackman safeguarding evidence of a secret operation, or had he been drawn into an obsession with creating a hidden underground sanctuary? Authorities are now combing through property records to uncover whether local builders or past owners had any knowledge of the tunnel's existence. Some longtime residents recall eerie rumors of workers vanishing under mysterious circumstances after being involved in renovations at the estate. Others speculate that the passage could be a long-forgotten escape route, possibly a remnant of an earlier security design. But with each new revelation, the mystery only deepens. As curiosity surrounding the tunnel intensifies, speculation runs rampant. Some claim it concealed a hidden fortune, while others suspect it was used for covert activities. But is this passage merely a forgotten relic, or does it hold the key to a far greater mystery? The discovery has set off an investigation unlike anything seen before, with authorities racing to uncover the truth. The revelation of a hidden tunnel beneath Gene Hackman's estate has sent shockwaves through the public, especially given the unsettling circumstances surrounding his and his wife Betsy's deaths. As investigators dig deeper, suspicions grow. Could this tunnel contain the missing pieces to unravel the mystery of their final days? The mysterious circumstances of Hackman's death and the eerie signs surrounding it make the tunnel's existence even more suspicious. Some believe it served as a hidden escape route, allowing someone to slip in or out of the mansion undetected. But the real question is, who needed such secrecy, and for what purpose? As investigators sift through the strange artifacts found inside, they search for connections to Hackman and Betsy's final days. The aged documents, unsettling photographs, and peculiar objects may hold the key to a side of Hackman's life the world never knew. Meanwhile, the cryptic symbols carved into the walls suggest a deeper, more enigmatic truth, one that could point to hidden alliances, secret dealings, or even a concealed past that was never meant to be uncovered. As neighbors and longtime acquaintances come forward, their recollections add more intrigue to the case. Some recall cryptic remarks Hackman made about unseen dangers, while others speak of late-night visitors who arrived in secrecy and left without a trace. Whispers of hidden dealings and unspoken fears now cast a new shadow over the mansion's past. With each new revelation, the link between the tunnel and the mysterious deaths of Hackman and his wife grows more puzzling. Every piece of evidence uncovered has the potential to unlock the truth, or push the mystery even deeper into the unknown. The growing silence from authorities has only deepened public suspicion. Despite the discovery of hidden tunnels, cryptic symbols, and strange artifacts beneath Gene Hackman's mansion, officials remain unusually reserved. Their statements are brief, vague, like pieces of a puzzle deliberately left unsolved. The FBI has scoured every inch of the underground passage, yet the unsettling relics they've uncovered seem to hint at a story that remains untold. As the world anxiously awaits answers, all they receive is an eerie void of information. The biggest questions remain unanswered. Why was the tunnel built? Who used it, and for what purpose? And most importantly, what secrets still lie buried beneath the surface? In a stunning turn of events, the FBI uncovered a hidden tunnel beneath Gene Hackman's mansion, and what they found inside left them in stunned silence. Among the eerie discoveries were old, dust-covered cell phones with shattered screens, still holding unread messages, potential clues to secret dealings, covert exchanges, or warnings that were never delivered. A worn-out planner filled with frantic scribbles and marked dates seemed to outline a hidden timeline, one that could expose a story never meant to be told. Agents also uncovered cryptic records of encounters with unidentified individuals, references to locations that appeared nowhere on official maps, and a collection of mysterious vials, evidence that hinted at a secret medical treatment, an experimental drug, or perhaps something even more sinister. Some vials remained sealed, while others showed signs of use, yet their purpose and the identities of those involved remained unknown. Every discovery felt like a fragment of a larger, concealed narrative, one that someone had gone to great lengths to bury in the shadows. Each clue uncovered brings investigators one step closer to exposing the truth hidden within Hackman's mansion. As tension mounts, the world watches, unsure if they are on the verge of uncovering a shocking revelation or merely chasing fragments of a mystery that may never be fully solved. Gene Hackman, a Hollywood legend, vanished into the quiet abyss of death. No final words, no suspects, no crime scene. Just a mystery swallowed by the desert. His wife, Betsy Arakawa, the only keeper of his secrets, followed him soon after. Coincidence or conspiracy? Every trace of Hackman's legacy, his whispers, his footsteps, has been erased, buried beneath rumors, unseen poisons, and the silent puppeteers of Hollywood's darkest corridors. Was it fate, or the work of unseen hands pulling strings behind the golden curtain? As the New Mexico desert holds its secrets, the truth seeps away like blood in the sand. Gene Hackman's death wasn't just the end of a life. It was the beginning of Hollywood's darkest, most whispered legend. In the heart of the New Mexico desert lay Los Terros, a forgotten village, a haven for those who sought to disappear. For Hackman, a two-time Oscar winner, this was more than just a retreat. It was his final refuge, a world far removed from the suffocating glare of Hollywood's relentless gaze. Alongside his wife, Betsy Arakawa, he built a sanctuary where no cameras followed, no reporters pried. But even in isolation, the past has a way of catching up. And in the silence of the desert, secrets festered, waiting for the right moment to resurface. Tell us, what was the first Gene Hackman movie that caught your attention? If you're intrigued by the mystery surrounding his life and legacy, hit like, share, and drop a comment with your thoughts. Now, let's uncover the untold stories of the legendary Gene Hackman. By the 2010s, Gene Hackman had vanished from the public eye. No interviews, no new projects, just a quiet life with Betsy, the woman who had been his unwavering companion since their marriage. Their two-story wooden house stood alone, gazing over the vast, empty grasslands, a fortress not of walls or cameras, but of silence, shielding them from the world they had left behind. The only thing separating them from the outside world was an unbreakable silence, so deep it smothered every rumor before it could take shape. In Los Terros, Gene Hackman was more myth than man. Locals rarely saw him, and when they did, it was fleeting. A polite nod at the store before he disappeared once more. Betsy was no different. They moved like ghosts in their own world, gliding past each other in quiet understanding, their lives woven together in whispers and shadows. But that peaceful solitude turned into an eerie void when authorities discovered both Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa lifeless in the very home that had shielded them from the world. No broken locks, no shattered windows, no struggle, just an undisturbed silence. Hackman sat in his usual wooden chair by the living room window, book in hand, as if frozen in time. Betsy lay nearby, her head resting gently on the armrest, their small dog curled at their feet, unmoving. It was as if they had simply drifted into an endless sleep. No strange scents lingered in the air. No furniture was out of place. Only an unnatural stillness, as if the house itself had stopped breathing at the exact moment they did. What unsettled investigators most was the haunting stillness of it all. No struggle, no forced entry, no disruption. Just Gene, Betsy, and their small dog, frozen in the quiet life they had embraced. The Santa Fe police were baffled, calling it an enigma beyond explanation. Initial suspicions of a break-in or accident faded quickly. No wounds, no toxins, no external cause, just an eerie, undisturbed farewell. It was as if the silence of Los Terros had simply claimed them, whisking them away without a trace, without a sound. But this silence had never felt so ominous. Beneath its perfect stillness lay a mystery begging to be uncovered. As whispers spread through Santa Fe, the quiet town of Los Terros could no longer keep its secrets. Then came Rios, the forgotten outcast, the man who had once faded into silence, now speaking up. The news of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's deaths didn't stay buried in the desert for long. It slipped past the dry, sun-baked lands of Los Terros, reaching far beyond Santa Fe, carrying with it a chilling question. Was their passing truly peaceful, or had something unseen been lurking in the shadows all along? The first murmurs swept across the desert, carried by the wind into roadside cafes, dusty newsstands, and bustling weekend markets where gossip thrived. But this time it wasn't just another passing tale. It was Gene Hackman's name on everyone's lips. A legend who had once commanded Hollywood's brightest spotlight was now the center of a mystery that no one could explain. No one could pinpoint where the first whispers began. Maybe a coroner slipping a word too many, or a neighbor catching a glimpse of flashing police lights through a curtain. But once spoken, the rumors spread like wildfire, carried by the unyielding desert wind. In the vast, barren expanse of New Mexico, speculation took shape, distilling into three unsettling theories: murder, a break-in gone wrong, or a silent, undetected gas leak. For those who had spent years in Santa Fe or Los Terros, the idea of the desert swallowing lives without a trace was nothing new. Since the 1970s, New Mexico had been a land of unexplained vanishings. Abandoned homes left mid-meal, bodies discovered without a mark yet frozen in terror. The desert carried secrets, ones people preferred to forget. So when Gene Hackman's name became part of that legacy, the whispers took a darker turn. What if his death wasn't just an end, but another chapter in the desert's long, eerie history? As the media frenzy grew, whispers of murder took hold. It started with a lone blog post, but soon headlines from TMZ to the New York Times echoed the same chilling question. Had Gene Hackman been killed in his own home? At over 90 years old, no one expected the legendary actor to become the center of a mystery gripping the nation. Santa Fe had seen reporters before, but this time their presence felt different. Gone were the usual travel pieces and restaurant reviews. Now, the air was thick with intrigue. The headlines told a haunting story. Gene Hackman, Betsy Arakawa, and their loyal dog. 3 lives lost in a home untouched by violence, without a single sign of struggle. The Santa Fe police were forced to hold their first press conference later that afternoon, amidst the continuous flashes of cameras. The police spokesperson stood behind the wooden podium, his voice calm but firm. No signs of forced entry, no obvious injuries, no external trauma. The brief statement cut through all the theories like a knife, but it was that very decisiveness that made people more suspicious. If no one had broken in, then how could it be that no one harmed them? Gene and Betsy, 2 healthy individuals living peacefully in that quiet space, suddenly died by accident. Rumors spread. Some spoke of an invisible intruder, one who silently infiltrates homes in the desert without leaving a trace. Others mentioned ancient curses tied to the land of Los Terros, once a focal point for rituals that no one dared name. Then, the theory of a gas leak quietly killing each person in silence became the most plausible explanation so far, regardless of which theory was believed. No one can deny that Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa, 2 people who spent their lives avoiding the noise and rumors of society, inadvertently became the center of an unstoppable storm of gossip in the endless desert of New Mexico. The whispers continue to echo as if someone or something has never truly left. As the initial theories of a break-in or murder faded, the most plausible explanation that was mentioned was poisoning, specifically carbon monoxide. The invisible killer had taken the lives of many residents in remote areas, much like Los Terros. It was the explanation everyone nodded to before a silent leak invaded every room, drowning Gene Hackman, Betsy Arakawa, and their small dog in eternal sleep, with no cries for help, no signs of struggle or panic. The Santa Fe Police Department's investigation team and environmental experts were urgently called in. The most advanced gas detection equipment was brought into Gene Hackman's small wooden house, scanning every corner, from the heating system and gas stove to the hot water pipes. They inspected everything carefully. Backup generators are a common cause of carbon monoxide poisoning in remote rural areas, but strangely, everything appeared nearly perfect. The gas stove, the main suspect, had only a tiny leak in the gas supply pipe connection. However, the amount of gas released was insignificant. Certainly not enough to pose a danger or accumulate in the open space of Hackman's cozy kitchen. The heating system was also thoroughly checked. Every pipe was inspected with thermal cameras to detect any cracks that might allow toxic gas into the house. The results showed nothing unusual. All equipment adhered to installation standards and regular inspections. Minor faults in the hot water pipe and gas connections were entirely unrelated to the risk of carbon monoxide. The real shock came late in the afternoon when the preliminary autopsy report was sent to the chief investigator's office. No traces of carbon monoxide were found in the bodies of Gene Hackman or Betsy Arakawa. Blood samples, lung fluids, brain tissue, everything was clean, with no signs of gas poisoning. The most reliable theory, the explanation everyone had clung to, suddenly collapsed. That very evening, a press release from the New Mexico authorities was issued, stating that no carbon monoxide was detected and no environmental toxins were found at levels dangerous to human health. This news sparked the simmering speculations on social media. If it wasn't gas, then what really happened inside that small house in the desert? New theories quickly emerged. Could they have been poisoned by another, more potent toxin? One so sophisticated it bypassed standard tests? Or was it a slow process? A poison slowly absorbed through food or drink, causing both of them to disappear at once, like a curse that had been destined. Some even mentioned biological or chemical agents used in high-level assassinations, capable of self-destruction. After completing their task, they leave the scene clean, like a blank sheet of paper. From Los Terros, where the sunset paints the distant Rocky Mountains, people read conspiracy theory blogs, constantly asking, if it wasn't carbon monoxide, then what was it? And that question became like a new curse haunting the public. In the following days, as more theories grew increasingly bizarre and the truth remained buried somewhere in the silent desert winds. Gene Hackman is a name that needs no introduction. He was not just an actor, but a living legend, a symbol of Hollywood's artistic richness, where true talent could surpass flashy gimmicks. From The French Connection to Unforgiven, each of Hackman's roles is etched into the public consciousness. But behind the glamour of his Oscar-winning career lies a web of heavy secrets that few dare to touch. In the 70s and 80s, as Hackman ruled Hollywood, he also saw its hidden underbelly, untouched by the media. This was an era of covert parties, shady deals, and untold truths. Whispers swirled that Hackman, with his sharp mind and watchful eye, caught every secret. He knew all about bribery, backstage favors, and even unexplained disappearances that stayed buried in the shadows. When news of Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's sudden departure hit the headlines, former colleagues were asked to share their thoughts. But instead of offering condolences or fond memories, most fell silent. Even those who had worked alongside Hackman on legendary projects, directors who once praised him as a golden partner, all refused to comment on the situation. The collective silence sent a shiver through the public, sparking a new theory. Hackman hadn't just escaped Hollywood's glare by retreating to New Mexico. Perhaps the secrets he carried had become too heavy, driving him to flee before the past caught up with him. Some conspiracy sites even hinted at the Hollywood curse, a hidden roster of stars who knew too much and met untimely, mysterious ends. Hackman, having seen it all, might have been the latest casualty of that curse, as the secrets of the past stayed unresolved and hidden forces quietly persisted. His departure became a mysterious bridge between Hollywood's glittering facade and its dark underworld, where the truth always hid behind the velvet curtain of the film capital. If Gene Hackman represented both the brilliance and darkness of Hollywood, Betsy Arakawa was his complete opposite. After becoming his partner, Betsy chose to step away from the spotlight, living quietly in the background like a shadow. Yet the more she withdrew, the more enigmatic that shadow became. Once a talented piano artist, Betsy nearly vanished from the public eye after marrying Hackman. Old friends remembered her as a gentle, reserved woman, always smiling softly when speaking of her legendary husband. But beneath those smiles lay a subtle unease, one that only a few close friends truly understood. Months before their discovery, Betsy confided in an old friend over the phone, saying she felt someone was watching her. Strange noises at night, cryptic messages from unknown senders, and an overwhelming, unprovable anxiety haunted her every day. When advised to contact the police, Betsy simply smiled weakly and said, "I'm just being silly. If you're surprised by the unsolved story of Gene Hackman, leave a comment with the number 1. If not, leave a comment with the number 0. Now let's dive back into this mysterious tale. Even stranger, just hours after the news broke, an anonymous call was made to the Santa Fe Police Department. A soft, trembling, middle-aged woman's voice revealed only one detail. Betsy wrote a letter to a friend in California. It was her final confession, yet that letter was never found. From there, speculation grew. Some suggested Betsy had been involved in a complex financial relationship before marrying Hackman, one she had worked to conceal for decades. Others whispered of a secret connection with powerful figures, possibly the true cause of her irrational fear. Betsy Arakawa, the woman behind Gene Hackman's spotlight, might hold the final key to unlocking all the mysteries. But now she has slipped into silence, taking her secrets with her into the New Mexico desert, where every confession is buried beneath the sands of time. On the day Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's bodies were discovered, the New Mexico desert seemed to hold its breath. Not because of the scorching heat or the sandstorms sweeping across the trails, but due to an unexplainable tension that hung in the air. A legend had died here, but what he left behind wasn't just a legacy of glory, it was a mystery as vast as the desert's endless horizon. When the initial forensic reports came in, the case grew even more perplexing. No signs of external force, no visible injuries, and no evidence of a break-in at Hackman's home. Carbon monoxide and other toxins were ruled out. Every clue that seemed to hint at the truth vanished like a mirage in the desert. After weeks of investigation, the Santa Fe police had to admit they couldn't pinpoint a cause for Gene Hackman and his wife's deaths. The case remained unsolved, with law enforcement seemingly acknowledging that some mysteries are beyond the reach of science or logic. The Hackman family chose silence, refusing all interview requests and rejecting any offers for press cooperation. Those who had been close to Gene, from former colleagues to New Mexico neighbors, also kept quiet. Hollywood, which had once hailed him as a living legend, now seemed to intentionally exclude Hackman's name from memorial broadcasts. His death had become a strange, unspoken taboo. In the wake of the silence, social media exploded with bizarre and growing conspiracy theories. Some claimed Gene and Betsy were victims of a perfectly orchestrated assassination or a flawlessly staged suicide. Others speculated they had been slowly poisoned over months with a deadly chemical designed to destroy. As the theories deepened, some forums even suggested a connection to secret organizations that had secretly controlled Hollywood for decades. These forces, they claimed, believed Hackman had unknowingly or deliberately uncovered fragments of Betsy's hidden fears, the strange anonymous calls, and the unsettling silence of those close to him. All these pieces seemed to intertwine, creating a haunting, though incomplete, picture. Gene Hackman's death wasn't merely the end of a star, but the birth of a dark new legend, an unsolved mystery where the brilliance of Hollywood faded into the dust of New Mexico. In its wake, millions of questions lingered in the desert sky, holding its breath, waiting for answers. No one can pinpoint the exact moment Gene Hackman's house became a part of the mysterious legend of Los Terros. But since the day he and Betsy Arakawa's bodies were found, the place was consumed by an eerie silence. It wasn't just the absence of people, but a feeling as if the very space was holding its breath, waiting for something too grand, too terrifying, and then never receiving an answer. Neighbors scattered across the harsh desert began whispering about what they had seen in the days leading up to the discovery. An elderly couple living nearly a mile from the Hackman home claimed to have seen strange blue lights flickering through the second-floor window. At first, they assumed it was just car headlights from the back trail, but the light didn't move or change. It remained still, as if casting light on a silent ritual that lasted nearly 10 minutes before abruptly vanishing. A horse rancher, who sometimes delivered hay to the Hackman home, remembered seeing Betsy a few days before the police arrived. She stood on the porch, staring blankly at the distant desert, with an unsettlingly vacant expression. She didn't wave or respond to his greeting. She just stood there, as if listening to a sound that no one else could hear. After their initial statements, the Santa Fe police quietly withdrew from the case. No updates were given, no press releases issued. Once the case was temporarily closed, the silence grew even more unsettling. The Hackman family refused all contact, and those close to Gene throughout his life suddenly went silent, as if an invisible warning had been issued. On online forums, from Reddit to conspiracy blogs, Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa were no longer just the reclusive couple of Los Terros. They had become symbols of a darker side of Hollywood, where the stage lights never shine. Theories about the cost of knowing too many secrets were buried deep, waiting to be uncovered. Hackman's life, now shrouded in a fog of mystery, leaves behind his roles, Oscar statues, and past awards as little more than a thin mask concealing a deeper secret. His house still stands, uninhabited. No one dares sell, rent, or destroy it, as if it's become part of the legend itself. Every night, when the desert wind howls through the empty windows, whispers of untold secrets echo from somewhere far away. And though Gene Hackman has left this life, his story of standing too close to the truth will continue to haunt New Mexico. The darkness beneath the veneer of silence and the dry official statements from the Santa Fe police left broken pieces that would never fit together. A mysterious call at 2:37 a.m., about 48 hours before Hackman and Betsy's bodies were found, added to the enigma. The emergency hotline received an interrupted call from Hackman's landline. A woman's voice whispered just 5 words. They found out too late. The call abruptly ended. The police later confirmed that Betsy had made the call, but they couldn't explain why it was cut short or who she was speaking to. In the statement, the empty safe in Hackman's office was noted. It was a large safe that had never appeared in any previous asset inventories. The door was wide open, and inside, it was completely empty. No one knew what Hackman had kept in there, and there were no signs of a break-in. Down in the basement, a handwritten manuscript with scattered pages was found, a place Hackman rarely visited. The manuscript contained fragmented memories of Hollywood in the 70s and 80s, mentioning shady names, a club, desert meetings, and a red folder. It seemed Hackman had written this secret memoir for himself, or perhaps for someone brave enough to read it. The manuscript abruptly ended with the chilling line, "If they find out, no one will survive." The death of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa didn't just mark the end of two lives. It opened a new chapter in Hollywood's dark legend. After the incident, many conspiracy forums speculated that Hackman had unknowingly become involved in a secret society of filmmakers, moguls, and politicians in the post-Watergate era. He had escaped, but carried with him secrets that would never be revealed, spreading fear. At least 3 of Hackman's longtime friends, including a director who had worked with him on Mississippi Burning, quietly left Los Angeles after the police closed the case. None of them agreed to be interviewed, even when offered 6-figure sums. The haunted house remains to this day. Visitors to Hackman's old neighborhood claim to hear whispers at dawn, voices, perhaps Betsy's or Hackman's, echoing from the desert, disjointed phrases that are hard to understand, but always repeating one chilling line: "It's not safe here." Gene Hackman's legacy isn't just his Oscar statues or iconic roles, but the shadow he casts over Hollywood, where the truth is buried beneath the sands of New Mexico, a place where not everyone who knows too much survives to tell the story. Gene Hackman passed away in silence, but the aftershocks of the incident spread like a sandstorm, engulfing Hollywood. Betsy Arakawa, the final witness, followed soon after, leaving behind a chilling message: those who know too much have no way out. It wasn't an accident, it wasn't a suicide. This was the price of the truth, where the stage lights never shine. Let us know what you think about the mysteries surrounding his life. Don't forget to hit like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments below the video. See you in the next one. Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into a chilling mystery that will leave you speechless. Gene Hackman, a legendary Hollywood icon, lived a life of fame and success, but in his final years, he left behind a secret message that few have ever discovered. A haunting and enigmatic message, caught on footage that has never seen the light of day. Was it a farewell, a final confession, or a cryptic clue to something far more sinister? Stay with us as we reveal never-before-seen footage of Gene Hackman's final days and unravel the mystery hidden within his last message. No one could have foreseen that a Hollywood legend, seemingly immortal, would not fade in glory but be consumed by a chilling tragedy. Gene Hackman, once a towering figure of fame, left behind a legacy not etched in ink, but in the echoes of his anguished final moments. His passing was anything but peaceful. He was trapped within his own mind, suffocated by love, isolation, and unseen forces pulling the strings. Yet the most harrowing part isn't his death. It's what he left behind. A classified recording shrouded in secrecy where Hackman lays bare his terror, his vulnerability, and a desperate cry for freedom. Who reduced a Hollywood legend to a trembling plea for mercy? Who stripped him of his final control? Was it love or a hidden force orchestrating his downfall from the shadows? This secret was never meant to be buried, and now it's about to come to light. Santa Fe, New Mexico, a land of sun-scorched hills stretching beneath an endless sky where the sunset turns red rocks to gold. Amid this tranquil beauty, a Hollywood legend quietly vanished. Gene Hackman. Audiences knew him for his cold, commanding presence in Unforgiven, The French Connection, and The Conversation. More than an actor, he was a symbol of a ruthless cinematic era where talent had to fight for its place in the spotlight. Yet while many of his peers clung to fame with final roles or surprise comebacks, Hackman chose a different path. After announcing his retirement in 2004, he disappeared entirely. No interviews, no events, no nostalgic career retrospectives. The world knew only one thing. He had retreated into seclusion with his second wife, Betsy Arakawa, in a sprawling mansion on the outskirts of Santa Fe, a place he called the Land of Wind and Silence. If this story has you hooked, make sure to hit like and subscribe so you never miss our upcoming videos and other mind-blowing mysteries. Share your thoughts on Gene Hackman's final message in the comments. We'd love to hear your take, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell to stay updated with our latest releases. Locals soon gave the house a chilling nickname, the Silent Villa, not just for its extreme seclusion, but for the eerie presence that seemed to shroud it. Delivery drivers rarely saw its owners, with staff receiving only curt notes instructing them to leave packages at the gate. Even neighbors, living mere meters away, almost never caught a glimpse of Hackman stepping outside. From this silence, speculation ran wild. Some believed he was secretly penning an unpublished memoir. Others whispered that he was recording his final thoughts to speak to future generations. And then there were the rumors. Claims that Betsy Arakawa had orchestrated his complete severance from Hollywood through a silent pact. The truth never surfaced, for the Silent Villa remained locked away from prying eyes. But in 2023, a seemingly insignificant detail slipped through the cracks. A plumber hired to fix a leak caught sight of something on Hackman's desk, an old tape recorder with a handwritten note, "Final words. Private." No one knew what was on that tape, but what followed would only deepen the sense of unease surrounding the villa. Gene Hackman, once a name etched in the public consciousness, had slipped into an unsettling silence. He canceled all routine health checkups and ignored messages from longtime colleagues. When a journalist reached out with a letter asking about his well-being, the only response was a single sheet of paper, blank except for 3 hastily scrawled words: "Leave me be." In his final interview in 2004, Gene Hackman declared, "I've played enough men full of regrets. I'm not willing to become one of them in real life." Yet in the quiet seclusion of his sun-drenched Santa Fe villa, he seemed to have transformed into the very characters he once portrayed, isolated, somber, and burdened by an untouchable secret. His wife of over 30 years, Betsy Arakawa, remained just as silent. She refused interviews, never appearing alongside him, even on the rare occasions he stepped outside. Rumors swirled that Betsy was the only one who knew of Hackman's final recording, his last reflections on love, his career, and the unseen shadows that had loomed over his life. But the most chilling detail? The timing. The recording was made in early 2024 as Hackman entered his most vulnerable years. Had he sensed something coming? Did he know his time was slipping away, or had the silent villa itself become a prison, trapping him in a monologue with the ghosts of his past? No one has the answers, but one thing is certain. The silent villa was more than just a home. It was the final witness to a legend. Its walls, its shadowed corners, and the restless wind that swept through them carried stories left untold. And somewhere, hidden away, that mysterious tape still exists. A missing piece in the puzzle of Gene Hackman's final days. His final photo captured a frail figure in a worn sweater, his gaze fixed on the vast New Mexico sky, like the closing frame of a once glorious Hollywood saga. No flash, no applause, just a man standing alone in the quiet twilight of his life. And beneath the Santa Fe night sky, where the stars weave a silver net over the dry red earth, the silent villa still stands, as hushed and enigmatic as the man who called it home for over 30 years. Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa endured the relentless sun and fierce winds of the American Southwest, presenting to the world the image of a perfect couple, humble, devoted, and far removed from the glare of Hollywood. But behind the rugged stone walls of their Santa Fe villa, their story was far more complex. In the dim glow of candlelit dinners, just the two of them, a fragile and unspoken bond took shape, one woven from love, possession, and an unnamed obsession. In time, it became known as the Final Pact. Betsy Arakawa, a petite Hawaiian woman, once a graceful pianist with soft, knowing eyes, carried within her a soul shaped by loss and separation. When she met Gene Hackman in the 1980s, it wasn't his fame or the prestige of a veteran star that captivated her. It was something deeper, something desperate. She clung to him not as a lover chasing stardom, but as if he were the last anchor keeping her from drifting into an endless abyss. Their love was undeniable, but the more intense it became, the more perilous it grew. Friends of Hackman later admitted that after he fell into Betsy's world, doors slowly began to close. Phone calls went unanswered. Invitations were ignored. Gene Hackman, once a fixture in Hollywood's inner circles, faded into the background, drifting further from the people who had stood beside him since the earliest days of his career. "I'm not leaving Hollywood, I just want to belong somewhere else," Gene once admitted in a rare moment of candor. But those who knew him best understood that somewhere else meant by Betsy's side, where he was willing to surrender everything for the peace he found in her eyes. Yet their story was never as simple as it seemed. Whispers from Hackman's old friends painted a different picture, one of a love that was anything but uncomplicated. Betsy wasn't just devoted, she was consumed by a fear that haunted her, that Gene would one day leave, just as so many others had abandoned her before. And to prevent that, she took control of everything. Every breath, every relationship, every name in his contact list. Nothing escaped her influence. Even Gene Hackman's own children from his first marriage weren't untouched. His 3 children became an unspoken tension between them. Once frequent calls between father and daughter grew rare. Letters went unanswered, and the distance between them widened. No one dared to say outright that Betsy had intervened, but at the same time, no one could deny the quiet, invisible force shaping every decision Gene Hackman made. The most terrifying part wasn't just the control, it was what they had agreed to do with each other. a secret survival pact, known only to them as the final PCT. No one knows exactly when it began, but scattered fragments of the truth surfaced in the hushed recollections of old friends. One quiet night in Santa Fe, beneath a sky strewn with stars, Gene and Betsy sat together in the villa's garden and made a solemn vow. If one of them passed first, the other would never be left alone. It wasn't spoken as a romantic promise, but as an unbreakable pact, an unspoken agreement that bound them together, no matter the cost, no matter what the future held. The puzzle pieces started falling into place when a quiet discovery was made. Betsy kept a strong sedative in the drawer of her bedside table. Gene Hackman, a man who had never struggled with severe insomnia, had been taking it regularly for years. Then there were the strange, restless nights, times when Gene would sit by the window, whispering incoherent words, trapped in dreams he couldn't escape. Dreams that perhaps weren't dreams at all. An old friend, one of the last still in touch with Gene, once recalled, "I overheard them talking once. They weren't arguing, but it felt like they were planning something neither of them wanted to say out loud." No one dared to ask Gene Hackman directly about the final PCT. Did it truly exist? And if it did, was it a pact of love or a chain forged by a shared, unspoken fear of separation? Beyond Santa Fe, silence reigned, the high desert wind carrying the scent of dry earth and scorched grass. But inside the silent villa, only two souls remained, bound together by a secret they never shared. Time moved strangely there, heavy and unrelenting, wrapped in an eerie stillness that no one could quite explain. Betsy Arakawa, the petite woman Gene Hackman loved so fiercely, was she his guardian angel or the one who bound his soul in the final years of his life? And Hackman, a man who once embodied strength and control on screen, had he unknowingly become a prisoner in his own marriage? The truth remains buried somewhere within the unfinished puzzle of the final PCT. Santa Fe, deep in winter. The dry wind howled through the half-open doors of the old stone villa, once the secluded refuge of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa. Now, it stands as a sealed box, locked away with rumors and chilling whispers about the final days of a Hollywood legend. But what haunts the public isn't just Gene Hackman's death, it's his final recording, a mystery yet to be unraveled. No one knows for certain if the recording truly exists or if it's merely a myth, but the stories surrounding it have taken on a life of their own, more powerful, more haunting than any of Hackman's classic films. Those who visited the Santa Fe villa before that fateful day speak in hushed tones of something hidden, something Gene Hackman tried to reveal in the last moments of his life. It wasn't a hastily scribbled letter or the scattered thoughts of a 95-year-old man lost in the familiarity of his walls. It was something far more chilling, a trembling voice, raw and fragile, woven with labored breaths and the unmistakable weight of fear. "If you're hearing this, I'm sorry." The recording began with an apology, one without a beginning, without an end, without a clear destination or explanation. The words lingered, spoken in the raspy voice that had once commanded the screen, the voice of Gene Hackman. But this time, it wasn't Lex Luthor or any other legendary character. It was a man staring into the void, confronting his own fate. When the forensic team entered the mansion after a delivery person's calls went unanswered, they stumbled upon a scene that would haunt them forever. Everything was eerily pristine. The dinner table set for two glasses facing each other, with only a few drops of amber-colored wine left behind. There were no letters, no books, no documents, just an old tape recorder resting atop a pile of crisp white napkins. The device wasn't powered on, no one had touched it, yet it felt like a carefully placed prop, waiting to be discovered by the right hands. When an investigator hesitantly pressed play, the room held its breath. Nothing. No sound, no message, just an empty memory card, wiped clean of whatever had once been there. But buried in the internal report, a single chilling detail stood out. A lone silver hair nestled at the bottom of the tape recorder. According to stories whispered within the Hackman family, Gene had stopped writing by hand in his 90s, his once steady grip faltering due to age. Instead, every night before bed, he would switch on a tape recorder and speak into the silence, scattered memories of Hollywood, fleeting thoughts, and tender musings about Betsy. Then one day, he stopped. Betsy was the one who took the tape recorder and locked it away in the safe inside her bedroom. To a trusted housekeeper, she simply said, "This is better this way." No one knew what she meant, but from that moment, the house grew eerily still. Some claim that Gene's daughter, Leslie Hackman, once hinted at having a copy of the recording, but her absolute silence since has only fueled deeper speculation. Was the tape more than just a farewell? Could it have been an accusation, a secret pact? Or was it something far more chilling, a final desperate plea to escape? Did the tape recorder ever truly exist? Or was it merely a phantom, a lingering specter in the minds of those left behind? The answer remains lost in the fog of uncertainty. While investigators uncovered no recordings, they did note something deeply unsettling about the home where Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa spent their final moments. It wasn't the scene of a sudden tragedy. It was something else entirely. The house didn't feel lived in. It felt staged. Every object, every chair, every framed photo was arranged with such eerie precision that it seemed less like a home and more like a meticulously designed set. The lighting was dim, filtered through drawn curtains, casting long shadows across a room frozen in time. On the dining table, two glasses sat perfectly aligned, facing each other, untouched, symbols of a moment orchestrated down to its finest detail. There were no signs of chaos, no evidence of an abrupt departure. Instead, the silent villa had become the backstage of a fateful play, a performance with no encore. Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa were the lead actors, bound by a script only they knew, while fate remained the only audience watching in silence. Of all the faces that emerged after the doors of the silent villa were sealed, none lingered in the public's mind more than Leslie Hackman. She did not weep, plead, or attempt to explain the unexplainable. Instead, she left behind a single statement for the press, words that only deepened the mystery. "My father was a storyteller, and even in his final moments he told the story he wanted to tell. No recording, no cries for help, no shocking truth buried beneath the pristine walls of the Santa Fe mansion. No one knows exactly what happened, and it is this silence that remains the most chilling evidence of all. When the Hollywood lights dimmed and the door to the silent villa closed forever, one question lingered in the minds of those left behind. What did Gene Hackman say on his final night? And more importantly, there are moments in life that slip by unnoticed, forgotten in the passage of time. And then there are moments that become legendary, not because they are loud, but because they vanish so completely from reality that they leave only whispers behind. That's what people say about the eerie final weeks inside Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's Santa Fe mansion. The neighbors had long grown used to the couple's reclusive lifestyle. But this was different. The house wasn't just quiet. It was sealed off, as if the outside world no longer existed. No mail, no deliveries, no visitors, not even the longtime staff who had once moved discreetly in and out. For weeks, the silent villa became exactly that. Silent. The iron gate at the foot of the hill remained firmly shut, its electronic lock always engaged, and the security cameras still pointed outward, standing watch over the desolate road. But buried within those silent recordings lay a chilling anomaly. Every single exterior camera of the mansion ceased functioning at exactly 5:32 p.m. on February 14th. No glitches, no tampering, no forced shutdown. They simply disconnected, as if an unseen hand had pulled the plug, severing the house from the outside world in an instant. From that moment on, Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa didn't just retreat into solitude. They vanished. Information from the local pharmacy uncovered a series of puzzling transactions in the months leading up to the mansion's eerie isolation. Large quantities of tranquilizers, painkillers, and powerful sleeping aids were repeatedly prescribed under the names of Gene and Betsy. Yet, not once had either of them been seen picking up the orders. Every delivery was dropped at the mansion's gate, never inside. But the most unsettling detail? Among the medications were prescriptions typically reserved for terminal cancer patients, drugs meant for those preparing for a journey with no return. Yet Gene Hackman's medical records told a different story. No cancer, no diagnosis of a degenerative disease, no documented mental illness. So if he wasn't sick, what were these medications for? When investigators forced their way into the house after a missing persons report, they encountered a chilling paradox. The front door was locked from the inside. The antique lock was intact, no signs of forced entry, no evidence of tampering. Inside, everything was undisturbed. The furniture, the family photos, the carefully placed objects, all frozen in place, untouched by time or chaos. Yet the air was thick, heavy with something. Unspoken, as if the walls themselves had absorbed a secret too vast to reveal. The silent villa had become something more than a home. It was a tomb for the past, a place where time had stopped, where the truth lay buried just beyond reach. A book